Hey everyone, this is Justin with the Podcast Dojo. So today I'm here at Virginia Center Commons Mall in Hanover County, Virginia. Now, somebody told me that this mall was dying, and I don't ever remember this being a busy mall. Well, first time I went to it, to be fair, was 2010, so it was definitely not what it used to be. A little history lesson for you all. This is actually the youngest enclosed shopping mall in Central Virginia. This opened up in 1991. Now, this mall is definitely what I believe was the final downfall for Azalea Mall, which is another video I talked about. So go figure, the youngest enclosed shopping mall ended the oldest enclosed shopping mall. Now, I heard many stories about this place, like how there was a dead wing and, just there was a lot of closed up shops, so I decided that I was in the area, so I was going to go ahead and check it out. Now, first of all, like one sign to me, actually we're going to come up on the first sign right here. So I was going to try to enter through this building here. Now, like I said, I never really frequented this mall. In fact, I can count on one hand how many times I've been inside this mall. So here we go. I am going to try to get in this door here. And this is definitely the first sign that the mall is not doing well. The fact that the door was closed. So that anchor right there was temporarily closed. That was like kind of like an arcade. It said like Circus Playhouse or something like that. Yeah, that was closed. We're actually going to go see one of the shop windows later in the video. But yeah, this mall was actually bought by Simon Property Group, which for those of you that don't know, I talked about them in my Woodville Mall video. No, I'm sorry. Simon Property Group originally owned it. That was the one that De Bartolo merged with. This one here, Kohan was the one that bought it. Kohan was the one that ended Woodville Mall, which was another video I did. I'll put links to that video as well as Azalea Mall in the description. I'm going to go in here through the Sears entrance. I'm probably going to shorten this a little bit. There wasn't really anything too exciting in the Sears. Like, it wasn't like a store closing or anything. As you could see from the parking lot, it already aside from the cars in there, like, it already looks like a freshly abandoned mall. Like, that parking lot's just so nasty. Just overgrown grass and weeds. Grass growing up through the asphalt, so it just shows that they really don't care. And not really surprising considering what I learned about the Kohan Property Group and the Woodville Mall video. So here I'm really just trying to find my way around, but I'll go ahead and talk about it. So Kohan bought the mall in January of 2017. They bought it for $9 million, and the article I found about it said that he was known for turning around dead malls. Now, based on what I read when I was doing the Woodville Mall video, I would have to say that's a lie, and it's really going to show here. Like, yeah, you bought it for $9 million, but I have not seen any improvement at all. The Sears, I'm kind of surprised is still alive, considering the one at Regency Mall died, and Regency Mall, and of course I'm talking about the one in Richmond. The one in Richmond, like, the Regency Mall is a much busier mall. It's still meh, kind of just a result of how the American shopping mall is just not what it used to be. But anyway, so I'm just trying to find my way around the Sears. I got so confused in there because like one spot looked like I could exit it because it said exit, but it was just another part of the Sears. I see some light over there, so I decided to go out that way because that definitely looked like the mall. Now I would have normally recorded this in a landscape proportion or perspective. The reason I did not is I found somebody else had done a video on Virginia Center Commons, and I saw security guards around. So I didn't want to risk being thrown out of the mall. So what I did was I just put the phone in my shirt pocket. and, you know, just made my way through the mall. Just acted like I was there to walk around. Occasionally taking the phone out to, like, show stuff around. Show stuff that was there. So, yeah, I was already starting gold already. I walk outside, and there is 2 more empty stores. I could not tell you what that is. Like I said, this is the Sears wing, so if you're familiar with this mall, definitely tell me if you know what that stuff is. Alright, so we're just walking through here. Nothing too interesting here. That was interesting that, you know, school's still out and I don't see any children playing over there. Then there's this thing, but it's kind of like a I don't even know what to call it. South Park Mall has one. It's like one of the bungee jump things where it's like the trampoline bounce. I didn't see anyone over there. I thought that even at South Park, at least they even have that. Or I usually see at least one person over there. Yeah, as you can see, it's not very well lit in here. And I'm going to point this out towards the end of the video, what I think's going on there. But, yeah, we're going to keep on walking here. Here's the Payless Shoes. Payless Shoes, I actually think, is a store in itself that's dying. Now, this entire wing out here is actually what I thought was told to me about the dead wing, because as you can see, there's nothing out here. I'm not rightly sure what was in that area. I think that may have been a Macy's. I know they used to have one, and I know their Macy's closed. Yeah, so I had to check this out. The cosmetic store right there, it looks like it may have been open, just not today. I'm not 100% sure, but I decided to go back here because I didn't see anything back here, and I just had to look. And by the way, I'm sorry the video's at a little bit of an angle. Like I said, I was trying to be very cloak and dagger about how I filmed because I wanted to make sure I at least got something, and I didn't want to risk being thrown out of the mall. So, something I would like to do is do like a hidden camera type thing, so that way I can get better quality and all that good stuff. Because after all, we're just here to document and check things out. Now, here's another thing to show you that wing is kind of spreading. So, I noticed there was like 80% off sales, and then I looked, yep, store closing. To me, that's the first, usually once an anchor goes in a store, in a mall, I feel like the rest of it kind of spreads like a virus, like all the other stores tend to close down. Now, one of the things I saw, yeah, I go back here to show you the store closing sale. Well, something I thought, yep, there we go, store closing. Now, there's a deli next door to it. I thought that was a little weird that it wasn't in the food court, especially when, yeah, right there, the deli. I thought it was a little weird that it was right there and not in the food court. And you will find out why when we get to the food court. More closed stores. Now, if you want to know what I think happened to this mall, I think a lot of it was the owners of the mall. I didn't really see any, because first it was Simon Property Group, then I think it was Washington Group. I don't know too much about them, but Kohan Group, no, and then even Simon Property Group isn't very reputable. So I think the management did not help at all. I mean, like I said, you know, bought this thing for $9 million. I don't see where this $9 million went. Like, this mall looks probably the same way it did when it opened in '91. maybe someone can correct me. Like, I don't think there's ever been any renovations to this mall. Well, not any that are really noticeable anyway. Um, but yeah, that and just big social economic decline, I feel, in this area. Not the worst, but, it definitely took away a lot of the major shoppers, I think. Now, remember when I tried to get into the mall and the store was closed? Well, here is that store. We are going to look at it. Now, it said on the sign there, I think I go back here to look. I'm obviously dubbing over this so we can get more information. But basically what it said on the sign was, to conserve energy, we are not going to start up anything until you come in, which tells you that they're really screaming for energy. Oh, here is another sign of a dead mall. We have fountains here, but we have no running water in them. These fountains are as dry as the Sahara. In fact, I think they've been that way for quite some time. I even noticed some cracks in there too, like some broken off marble in there. Let's see. I think we're heading up to the food court now. But yeah, so I think bad ownership here and I think social economic decline are definitely to blame here. I feel like Short Pump Town Center may also partially be to blame, but I can't really say because they're about a 20-minute drive apart, so I don't really know how much it would have affected. I think it probably had a little bit of an effect because, like I said, Eastgate Mall was affected by this mall opening, and I mean, Eastgate is completely gone now. That's a Walmart now, I think, but Eastgate, I think, is maybe like another 20 minutes away. I actually have never been to Eastgate, and yep, there's why I did not record or make it obvious I was recording. That security guard was riding around. He never suspected anything, so I just played it cool, walked around, and minded my business. And here we go. Here's the food court. And it's a very pretty food court, I think. I like the little gazebo thing right there. Yeah, there you're gonna see there's a lot of like just closed up stores here. Well, food vendors. Great steak. I'm kind of surprised they're around. Like every mall I know that used to have one doesn't have it anymore. Then the place next to it, Heaven Cafe or Heavenly Cafe. Yeah, that looks like that's been closed for some time. I don't even know what was there, since it's all boarded up in the front. And then we're going to come up on an arcade. Now, I'm glad to see arcades are still being around, of course. Then when I started to look inside, even that looked like, it didn't have much time left. Another one. Now, that was a sit-down restaurant right there. I actually delivered food to a customer in this mall, I think in early April, and I remember that restaurant was open. But of course it is not. It doesn't look like it is now. So I guess it must have closed pretty recently. That also, yep, that looks like, no, that looks like part of the restaurant. I thought maybe there was something there, but I guess not. So we got two other restaurants here that are... Now, here's something interesting. Look at the restaurant here with the red. Chicken Burger. I feel like that was probably... or I know there was a Chick-fil-A in there. But I think that used to be it. I'm kind of surprised they got away with that, because that looks very similar to the Chick-fil-A logo. Now, remember when I said earlier I thought I found the dead wing? Well, we are getting close to what was the real dead wing here. And we are about to find out. So first, I did want to see, was the JCPenney still open? JCPenney's, I know, is starting to close down stores. Not as fast as Sears and Kmart are closing them, but they are definitely closing down stores. But no, it looks like that JCPenney is good. That JCPenney actually used to be at Willow Lawn until Willow Lawn redeveloped into more of a traditional outdoor shopping mall, like strip mall. That used to be partially enclosed. So yeah, I saw that. There was a dentist office there, which I thought was interesting. Um, wait. See, oh yeah, that looks like that's actually the jewelry store right there. Is actually where I delivered food to the customer to. Here we go. This entire stretch of hallway we're coming to right here, completely dead. There is one store here. It's like an African braiding salon. Once we get through, and you'll see it when we come up to it, it's the only store in this entire hallway that is open. I am not sure what that was. The orange and the blue. I thought that was interesting. Here we go. Everything is closed. I did not even see any signs on anything. So, like, I'm really wondering, like, what was down here? Like, I'm assuming probably a bunch of, like, clothing stores. There's a little security detectors right there. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that was probably some sort of clothing store. I don't think any major department stores, because I feel like that would have been reserved for the anchor stores. We are creeping up on it here pretty soon. But I think there was a movie... I feel like there was a movie theater in this mall. And I'm about to creep up on it soon, and then I will... Yep, okay, here we go. I pulled the phone out for a second. Should be coming up here soon. Yep, turn on the camera. Yes, that looks like a movie theater right there. Like, that looks like where the ticket stand was, and probably wasn't a very big movie theater. But, I mean, if someone watching this can tell me, like, that'd be great. Yep, gotta put the phone back so we don't get caught by security. Let's see, was there anything at the end of here? No, that's right. There was no anchor at the end here. It's crazy. Like, I can't even imagine what the kind of stores were down this way. There was, yes, it looks like there was an American Family Fitness down here. Now, I do feel like there was definitely something there before an American Family Fitness. I just don't know what. But it looks like that's not there anymore. I feel like it was probably like the Macy's. I feel like that could have been the other spot for the Macy's. But I think the other dead wing I saw was the most likely place for the Macy's. Now, what I did was I tried to see if maybe the name was still fresh on the map. But it looks like I was wrong. It looks like it was an American Family. I was hoping maybe they didn't update the map and we could find out what was in there, but no such luck. This right here in the corner is a church. Now, that's another sign of a lot of these dead malls I've talked about is churches. And usually why that's a bad sign is usually at this point, you know, these malls, they need to get a tenant in here. They need to get someone in there paying rent. And, well, the church, now they have a place to go, and it is somebody to pay rent. Alright, now we're going to make our way back around. I didn't realize I had the phone. Well, like I said, I put it in my shirt pocket, so I couldn't really check it all the time to make sure it was recording like I wanted it to. Like I said, I mean, this, you know, I did the best I could. And especially since I was here by myself, I didn't want to make it super obvious I was filming. Yeah, that really looks like a movie theater right there. Like, that looks like up top you would have had the shows listed, and then the little building that stuck out was probably where they took your tickets. Yeah, I'm going to try to look in some of these stores to see if there was anything left. Yeah, all of these look like they're probably just clothing stores. Now, I was told by somebody that a lot of these stores, like, kind of turned into, like, discount-type stores, but honestly, I didn't really see too much of that here, which tells me they were probably gone by the time I got here. Something else that was interesting, so somebody had told me this, and I even read it in a, yep, there's the hair salon right there. Because there was people in there, I didn't want to like stand and stare, but we passed it. So anyway, so somebody had told me that, there was no AC in the mall, and that they were just using fans. Now, the interesting thing is, I didn't really see any fans. It definitely felt like there was no AC running, though. And, it's kind of funny that, I got home and I read that Co-on Property Group was the one that bought it, because if you remember my Woodville Mall video, that was one of the problems, was he didn't pay for AC. AC. He didn't pay for heat, so people were putting, like, what am I trying to say? Yeah, space heaters in their stores, and that was a fire hazard. So I don't know if that's going to be the case this winter. We will find out. Hopefully not. I hope they can get their act together and at least provide some heat. I definitely think this mall is doomed. I think it's basically living on borrowed time now. I don't think it has... I'm just seeing all the signs of a dead mall. Not running utilities, all these empty buildings here. Parking lot. I mean, I know it's a Thursday. It was a Thursday afternoon, but still, I feel like it should have at least been a little busier, especially in the summertime when the kids are still out of school. And, I mean, come on, back to school shopping. Like, I always remember going back to school shopping at the mall. So, something I kind of wish I had done, I would have liked to have gone in one of the Sears, or the JCPenney's. Well, the Sears didn't have it, but the JCPenney's, I would have liked to have gone in there and seen, like, if they had escalators, and if they did, were they working? Yeah, that security guard that passed me, that was the only one I saw working there. I didn't see many security guards, but still, I'm glad I played it safe and just kept the phone in my pocket to not call attention to myself, because I really did want to catch this footage. And to have a dead mall that I didn't have to travel so far to look at was a real treat for me, and hopefully a treat for you guys. Where we saw like the trampoline bungee thing at the beginning, I kind of wonder if there was a fountain there. Because, like, that was one of the things with, like, South Park Mall, was that they used to have 3 fountains in there, and then they just took them out and replaced them with something. And here we are looking at another store closing right here. The Gymboree is closing. I'm going to go up to the sign here. Except you can't see. Oh, okay. Store closing, everything must go. So we're going to go back to the fountains. I just wanted to double check, because you know me, I love mall fountains. I wanted to go back and make sure that I got them for you guys, so we could look at them and just go to see. Because the security guy was walking the other way, I tried to get my phone out here and make sure I was getting a nice, good look at them. And if you look in here, you can kind of see some of the, maybe a little difficult, but there was some chipped off marble in there. Oh, there's the gumball machines. That is also another sign, I hear anyway, of like malls not doing too well, because they're just really trying to get as much money as they can. Alright, so we're at this point we're just kind of making our way back to the Sears. Like I said, I really think this mall is just living. Oh, that's interesting right there. The one pillar standing there, the other one's missing. So anyway, I really do think this mall is just living on borrowed time. I don't really know what can save it. I mean, it was bought again. You would think that the owner would actually want to make this thing work, especially since he's quote-unquote known for turning malls around. But I just don't see it here. Like, I watch dead mall videos on YouTube. Like, I do watch Ace's Adventures, and I watch This Is Dan Bell, and I almost feel like I'm there on set, like, where they look at these dead malls. And So like I said, that's why I wanted to come in here. I wanted to make sure we documented this and preserved it, in case it does actually close. I'm going to notice something here in just a minute. So I'll just go ahead and start talking about it now. So, something I found interesting. Now, yes, it is during the day, and there's a lot of sunroofs in the mall. But here's something I found kind of interesting. So I noticed that the ceiling lights weren't on. I don't know if that's because I was here during the day, or they're just so worried about not being able to pay utilities that they're just turning them off whenever possible. I'm pretty sure that's the reason. This mall just felt really, really dim compared to other malls I've been to that are alive and well. So that is the Virginia Center Commons Mall. I hope you liked that. I'm going to go ahead and leave the rest of the video up just so you can see what was going on. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I would definitely, if there are more dead malls I can go to within reasonable distance, I would definitely like to do that. So until then, just enjoy the rest of the video. Leave a comment, leave a ranking, and tell me any memories you had at Virginia Center Commons Mall if you did. And I will catch you guys next time.